Hello everyone. I hope you have been enjoying the music. I'm turning it down just now, so hopefully my voice doesn't get drowned out by it, but some good music, right? This is, of course, a Radiant Sloth original. We're going to be trying out a new pre-access game from Radiant Sloth, which, I mean, is crazy to me. Like, the speed at which... we're chatting a little bit. I was told that... Oh! Radiant Sloth is in chat. I was just saying, you told me that you're working on this a little bit while working on Skycliffs at the same time. Because I was saying, I reached out to you and I was like, I'm amazed at the speed at which you're, like, throwing these games out here. So, today we are checking out Destroy the Monoliths. It is the new pre-alpha game by Radiant Sloth. If I do this, you can see it says pre-alpha down there. And yeah, it looks, from what I've seen, I wanted to do like a blind sort of test, but from what I've seen, it looks to be a roguelike style sort of tower defense, with tower defense influences, sort of protection type game. Radiant Sloth was prototyping this a few weeks before releasing Skycliffs, is what I was just told in chat from the man, the myth, the legend, Radiant Sloth himself. So, I think, without further ado, I would love to just jump right into this. Also, the music is incredible. That's why I left it on. Usually, when it's the opening screen, I have out like all the music and all my microphones turned off, but the music is great, so I kept it on so people could hear it as I got ready for stream. But we're gonna do a new campaign, and let's play Destroy the Monoliths. Yeah, so it's one mission. We're gonna destroy all 6 enemy monoliths, and I think we're gonna go crazy on it. Yeah, I love the main theme. It's really awesome. All right, so. Hold to move slowly. Dash while moving is right click. Gotcha. Aim and move, mouse. Shoot, left click. Open game menu is escape. Player tab and change weapon is E. Building tab. Tab, okay. Confirm building position. Hold to build the same structure again. Cool. Oh, nice. I love this, being this cool little ball guy. So, I'm assuming the orange health bar is the health of my ball, and then the green health bar is the health bar of this, which we are to protect. And we're sort of making our own path, which I think is cool. Because in a lot of tower defense games, or tower defense influence games, usually the path is made for you. But let's see. Alright, so this I assume is a monolith. And we want to build a bomber turret, most definitely. Cool, cool. Yes, yes, yes. Alright. Yeah, I think we should fortify our base before we go any further. Wall and a force field. Blocks enemies but allows player movement and attacks. That's cool. And then let's get... Oh, we don't have the money for it. Well, we can get a little money. It may be like a weak spot of mine, but I love games where you play as just like a little ball. Because, I don't know. Ball is like the friendliest shape. Yo, what's up, Kier? Welcome, welcome. This is Destroy the Monoliths, the new pre-alpha game by Radiant Sloth, who we also have here in chat. But yeah, for some reason, ball is just a really friendly shape to me. I wasn't involved in this project at all, but Radiant Sloth. Oh no, I wanted to do a laser turret. Yeah, that's right. But Radiant Sloth was. Okay, cool. Now we have a path. Alright, so let's spawn more enemies. Come on, guys. Yeah, the game creator's in chat at the moment. Ball is also very easy to implement. It requires almost no artwork. I suppose that's true as well. I did think about that. But yeah, there was a Flash game that I used to play where you were like a guy standing on top of a ball and you would like roll around this world and like, and it was great. Come on. I've never played a Kirby game, but yeah, that would be a ball-shaped friend. Oh, Radiant Sloth says hello, Kier. That's nice. I love it when my chatters are friends and not enemies. Alright, and then... Oh, jeez. My ball. Oh! Stop! Whoa! Oh gosh, this one's strong. Okay, hell yeah. Let's set up a bomber turret like here. And then we can open up this path as well and do some pew 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 pew. Here, I don't know if you were here for the stream, but we played a game called Skycliffs a couple weeks back, and yeah, Radiant Sloth created that game as well. And that one is sort of roguelike, Gungeon inspired or influenced, with very cool like sort of multi what's it called? Like multi-layer, multi-topographed. Basically, it's like mountains. Is what I'm trying to say. Radiant Sloth just said it way better than I ever could. A dungeon crawler roguelike with verticality. That's the one. I'm like mountains, topography. Not making any sense. All right, let's clear some of this out, and then we can put down a turret that'll hopefully help us take care of these guys. Nice. And then we lure them all over. Alright, get into it. Oh. Don't go for my monolith. Oh my gosh, they're all coming out now. Here we go. Yes. And now you take the opportunity to attack. Okay. Fall back for a second. Kier says verticality is something you don't see very often. They're just saying gamers don't look up. It's funny, I've never heard that. Wait, I can change what I attack with? Whoa! Yeah, I think I would maybe agree with that. Oh, geez, they destroyed my turret. That gamers don't really look up, but I think Radiant Sloth implemented it in a way that that makes it really, like, easy and accessible to tell when it's, whoa. Alright, I think I preferred the laser. Whoop. How about grenades? I want to try them all out. Whoa, that's fun. Yeah, Radiant Sloth implemented verticality in a way that is very intuitive. So, I mean, even for a crappy gamer like me, I was able to wrap my head around it pretty easily. Grenades is your favorite? Oh no! Whew, I'm back. Okay, I feel like shells. Okay, I feel like I'm in trouble. I like that the ball comes back though. I was worried that I was like out. So now I can play a little more aggressively. Although, hey, I'm really not happy about what's happening to my monolith. Okay, come on. I think I might die. Oh no, my turrets can't respawn anymore. No! Oh my gosh. Radiant Sloth, you remember when I played Skycliffs and I like had that crazy run right at the beginning and like managed to get really far? This is like the opposite. I did terribly. Alright, let's be a little more methodical this time. Clear out some of the area. I think, let me try Sonic Push again, because maybe it's good for like clearing out the blocks. And I didn't try shells either. Oh, interesting, okay. Shells has a little AoE associated. Don't mind that. But I do think, actually, I enjoyed the laser beam. The game isn't balanced. Progression mechanics are missing. So at this point, it's not really possible to win. Does that mean it's like, it's difficult to win at the moment, but there is like a win condition, or like the win condition isn't implemented yet? Because if there is a way to win, I would like to try. Alright, so I think we leave the monolith alone for the time being. And we do some farming. The win condition is implemented. You have to destroy all the monoliths on the map. Then I think I should be able to do it if I just if I'm just cautious about it. I think I want to put a wall down there. Okay, cool. I'm gonna give it my best. They spawn stronger enemies over time while the player doesn't get stronger yet, so it's unlikely to win. Okay, so speed is important. Gotcha. Alright. Let's take it out. Radiant Sloth, have you managed to win a round of this yet? Wait, you're healing? Alright, that's one. Where's the next one? Yeah, it's sandbox to show off the concept, which, I mean, by the way, I love, because one, I really do enjoy like tower defense games, and I do feel like, honestly, tower defense roguelike type games are kind of underrepresented in my opinion, or at least not represented in a way where I'm like, you know, ever like going crazy over them. I feel like it's not as fleshed out a genre as it could be. And also, you get to play as a ball in this game, which is like, you know, as I think I mentioned earlier, like my favorite shape to play as. Alright, where's the monolith? Two! But it shouldn't be able to get back to my base, right? It would have to go quite a long way around. No, they've been like going off this way, so I'm worried there is a way to get back. Okay, there is. Ah. Okay. Hey, what's up, Bingistan? So you love this? Yeah, me too. This is Destroy the Monoliths. It is a Radiant Sloth original. And Radiant Sloth is indeed here in chat today. Feeds my SeaWorld tycoon brain. Hell yeah. Yeah, a mix between tower defense and RTS. I definitely can see that. I really kind of suck at RTS games, but I do think that they're a lot of fun. Cool. Alright, that should hopefully protect the tower for a bit. Now we're just gonna go find more monoliths. I'm guessing there's gonna be one like here. No. Then where? There. Alright. We might die, but we'll be able to get back. Okay, there's another. Radiant Sloth, is it 6 monoliths that I have to take out in this pre-alpha? I've taken out 4. Cool. Probably some, like, here? Here? No. Okay. Gotta track down the monolith before they get too strong. My monoliths are too strong for you, traveler. You can't handle my strongest monoliths. Potion Sphere, I'm going into battle. And I want to fight your strongest monoliths. Oh, it's written in the bottom. Oh, yes. Sorry, I didn't see that. I'm actually covering that up, so let me just swoop. Now you can see the number of monoliths I have yet to get. Oh, and there's also a mini-map. I don't know, I got so, like, sucked in that... I mean, you experienced this last time I played one of your games, or the first time, I think, when I, forgot to try pressing the tab button to check to see... what is it? To check to see... Yes! If I could pull up the map. Hell yeah. Okay, cool. I want to try it again, and I want to do sort of more like a, what's it called? Like less focused on trying to clear the objective, and a little more focused on, trying out some stuff and seeing if I can actually build like a proper, like, tower defense situation. So I'm going to use shells, actually, to do my mining, because they can get multiple at the same time. And I'm going to try for a while to not aggro any towers, and then I will make my own path. Although, actually, thinking about it now, I might not want shells, because they destroy multiple at the same time, but that gives others more space. I don't know. Let's go grenades. Even though they also destroy multiple at the same time. And then we can build a bunch of force fields. Alright. Let's see. How about this? We'll build a little defense barrier around our core. What are the different towers? Right now there are laser turrets, which shoot laser bullets, and a bomber turret, which uses shells. And yeah. Then there are walls and force fields. So these are force fields so I can go through them. But my idea is just to leave a little opening here, so regardless of where they're coming from, they have to go through here to get to the core. And that way I can set up a bunch of turrets around this area, and hopefully go absolutely nutty on them. Okay. That's a little earlier than I wanted to find the guy, but I don't think it'll spawn too much more if I don't go over there. Cool. Oh, it will spawn more. Okay, I gotta put a tower down. Just a little more, because I want to do a bomb tower. Well, let's do 2 laser towers instead, because I wasn't fast enough. There. Okay, and then... Alright. Boom, boom, boom. Nice. And then we'll put so many guards here, your eyes will water. Well, that's also not good. It's really like a comedy of errors out here, just spawning all the monoliths. But I will say, I'm having a really good time, and I'm looking forward to seeing what more comes from this project, because it is a cool project. And I really like the variety between the 2 games that I've played of yours. The difference in like play style and like what parts of the brain it kind of requires me to use and think about while I'm playing. So I mean, kudos, big ups, and congratulations on the pre-alpha release. Here, they're in the last in the first time we played, there got to a point where the monoliths were spawning more and more towers, like faster and faster. I do think there's like a use case for the bomb towers, and I think that's why they're more expensive, is that they have a little more utility a smidge later on in the game. I think the laser turrets have a little more damage. Yeah, 10 versus 7. But the bomb turrets have bigger range. Okay, cool. Wait, you can break these walls? Didn't know that. Okay, so gonna have to rethink this strategy. I wanted to stick to the action roguelike genre, but do something a bit different than Skycliffs. Otherwise, it would have been a bit boring to develop the exact same thing. Yeah. I agree with that, and I think it's really paying off. I mean, I love the variety. The Radiant Sloth special. Okay, and now how do we? I think we want to like block that off. Okay. Let's see, we have 19. We need more. You guys hold down the fort. I can see what you mean. I like the grenades a lot as well too now. I thought I was a laser guy, but I think really I'm a grenade guy. Okay, we're spawning more enemies. Oh. Okay, cool. It's something. It's not pretty, but it's something. Destructible terrain is something I always wanted to mess with. It's fun. I agree. I think that... Because it's cool, right? Like, with planning, you can create a, like, a more... How to say it? Like, or a less expensive, like, maze that the enemies have to go through. Like, you know, if you're using, like, the grenades, you can mine a lot faster, but you also have to worry about, like, you know, all of a sudden I've created this massive wide open space that all the enemies can just, like, flow into. On the other hand, though, I might not be able to scale fast enough if I'm simply using the, like, the machine gun or the laser. Bring me back. Go on, go on. Alright, you guys hold down the fort. I need to mine some resources. Oh, jeez. Alright, another gun coming up. No, we should save for a better gun. Oh, no! My gun. Well, this looks like it may be the end. Unless I can, you know, miraculously hold down the fort. I'm not sure if there is a punishment for dying. You can repair existing turrets if you open the menu near them. I assume that doesn't include the main obelisk, right? Cannot respawn anymore. Alright, well, this is where my dodging skills come into play. Okay, put me on the laser beam. Just because I felt like that did like a lot of single target damage. And we're gonna have to like blast little maze walls open. Okay. Oh gosh, how long can I survive? Ah! Ah, defeat, of course. This is awesome. This is destroy the monoliths. No punishment for dying yet. Yet, question mark. You just waste some time before respawning. Yeah, I think that's fair. I really like that. I think it's a cool design space that you're primarily protecting, like, your ability to respawn. I think it's cool. I think it works in that you can still complete the game after, like, your main protection point is gone. Like, because I thought it was going to blow up and I was going to be, like, done. It was going to be, like, game over. But instead it was, like, can no longer respawn. And so I was like, oh, well, you know, maybe if I'm, like, you know, one monolith away from finishing the level, I could just run and rush down that monolith and maybe have a chance of, like, getting that victory screen. It's really cool. I mean, Radiant Sloth, they're there, you know, is there anything you want to talk about? Any, like, any big differences between the development of Skycliffs and the current development that you're working on, Destroy the Monoliths? Because, I mean, they play very differently, but like you said, they're both a part of the action roguelike genre, which, you know, if you're ever hanging around the channel, you know that I'm a big fan of. Also, take a sip of your mom fuel. My mom fuel is coffee today. Again, I'm not sponsored by this mom fuel, I just like the mug a lot. Good stuff. Oh. My mom fuel is coffee, like I said. I also like how the enemies will, most of the time, go after your main objective point rather than going after you. Because it does kind of emphasize that, like, it's not that each life is really important or that having, like, massive punishments each time you die is, like, a big deal. It's rather, like, how can you utilize your life as a tool to protect the future lives that you're gonna have? Like, I think that's a really fun idea. And I'm super excited to see how this gets shaped and progresses, and, you know, yeah, keep me in the loop with all that. Let's go one more time, I think I can do a quick monolith beat, and let's use The stats of this are really high, but the range is really bad. Oh, and it's bad at mining. Is that right? Okay, it is bad at mining. I see. Well, let's laser beam it up. Cool, cool. Let's set up our defenses and then go explore. And we wanna just mine like nearby the tower because we don't want to activate the monoliths too early. What is this? I want to offer you promotion of channel. Hey, that's nice, but I'm gonna... How do I delete messages? I don't know. Oh man. No, I'm lost in the menus, sorry. Whatever. Yeah, just everyone ignore that message, because I'm not looking for like sponsorships or anything, or to sponsor other people to like help me grow this channel. I'm liking the way it's organically growing. Yeah, it is actually. That's I got like a random email on the and yes email, like this morning, that was like, hey, like we're a bunch of like, you know, streamers, and we like help small streamers like grow their channel. Like all you have to do is like sign up on our website, like, and all these young streamers can like collaborate with one another. And I was like, I don't know, I think maybe it's like the way that my mind works, but immediately I was like, I don't know, like it's probably like some kind of scam, right? Like that, it's like the idea is really nice, but I don't think that that's I don't know. Hold down shift and then we can place another. Oh, well. Yeah, it's just, it always makes me feel like it's a scam. But if it is true, like it's nice, you know, like a place where people who want to grow their channels can get together and like almost sort of like do like collaborations. Like, okay, let's play this game that we both like and we'll play it together, and then, you know, both our channels will grow as a result. But I don't know. I'm not really about that whole you know, potentially giving up my channel to like some higher powers that be. I like just the way it is now. Raiden Sloth is going to add progression mechanics so the player gets stronger, and some ideas to prevent rushing monoliths very early from being a viable strategy. I think that makes sense, right? Because if you the ball is getting stronger, and you the ball, you know, is the thing that must take out the monoliths, then you know, if you are getting stronger, then that gives you the ability to go and get the monolith. But if you haven't gotten stronger yet, then that might not be the case. I see. Maybe the monolith should have some firepower. That's what RTSs do, I think. So that you cannot take the enemies down very early. It's an interesting idea. Yeah, like the idea that you need to get some currency to build it up. I mean, another idea could be that the enemies that come from monoliths like drop a kind of resource, or like, you know, the base resource, just so that, you know, there's a reason to activate the... Oh, interesting. The thing down here says 7 out of 6. I think it kept my score from the previous game, but what I was going to say is, if the enemies drop resources, then it gives you an incentive to like take out the enemies, or to get the monolith going, so the enemies come, so you can take them out, so you can scale faster. But then you're also running the risk of getting outscaled by the monolith that is going to start scaling. But yeah, it's cool. I'm going to save and quit. But yeah, this is Destroy the Monoliths. I had a great time with this today, and I'm super excited to see what happens moving forward with this game and with Radiant Sloth. And thank you as always for, reaching out and being like, I made something, would you, check it out? And I'm always like, hell yeah, because I like the things you make. So congratulations on the pre-alpha release of Destroy the Monoliths. Now let's move on to something else for our Monderground. Also, you might have seen the category I'm in is Skycliffs. I couldn't find a Destroy the Monoliths category, so yeah. Let me check this quickly. Thanks for playing. It's always very interesting to see how players engage with the game. Yeah, I mean, I think we had this conversation when I was playing Skycliffs, but I do think that games always feel to me like a conversation, and I'm sure it's interesting as someone who has made the game that I was just playing to see how that conversation unfolds, where it's like the game establishes rules about like how it's played and like what the objectives are, and then I establish like actions as to how I'm planning on doing that and completing it, or am I gonna try and circumvent it by like scaling really early and then trying to rush down, or am I gonna like go at a pace and I don't know. I think it's a really cool form of like communication through art. So yeah, keep up the fantastic work. So yeah, let's pivot onto something else. It is Monderground after all. The pre-alpha, yes, I did forget to mention that the pre-alpha is public. So if anyone wants to go and give it a try, see what they can find, go for it. I encourage it because I had a really great time playing that. Playing Destroy the Monoliths. Alright, so let's see. Oh, come on. It's that classic issue of there's no option to region? No. Change the screen size. Is the game on console, asks Kier. I'm not sure. I would leave that up to Radiant Sloth to answer. Well, that one's a wash. Only on PC, but you can play with a controller, is the answer. Let's go to this. Something I always struggle with for Monderground, and I think I mentioned this before, is not being able to change the screen region in games, and I don't know why, like the screen size. And I think it's so good, Radiant Sloth, that you always make sure that there's a way to change the size in the screen. Because even with Alt-Enter, which like takes it out of full screen mode, sometimes you can't actually reshape the window. Like I found a cool game that I wanted to check out today. It was called Kiwi 64, I think. And it was like you play as a little kiwi, and it's in like an N64 style, and it's like, it just seemed like good vibes, very chill. But nothing I could do could make it like reformat the screen region. So instead, we're gonna play Curse of Eternity. which I don't know much about the game, but I think it's an action RPG type of thing. Let me take me up here. And throw this onto this. Cool. And last note, well, probably not the last note, I'll probably be talking about it a lot, but it is downloadable on itch.io is where you can find it. If you want to try the pre-alpha of Destroy the Monoliths, itch.io is where you can find it. I almost said itch.io.com, but I realized that the .com is actually the .io in the itch.io. itch.io.com .eu.co.uk.gov. And if you put that all in, then surely you will end up at my itch.io page with all the secrets that I've been hiding. Anyway, Curse of Eternity. We will just throw in a new game in save one. Okay. We have 3 heroes. Bror the Gladiator. Can't even talk anymore. Fights to save his allies from damnation by defeating the Empress Midrahda. Using his strength to wield huge weapons with ease, Bror is most proficient with great swords, polearms, and maces. We have Aurelie the Assassin. Trained her whole life, slays the Empress. Agility, bows, katars, polearms, and daggers. And then the mage. If you're a stinker, let's just go strength build, I guess. The original intended difficulty level. Okay. I'm actually going to lower the volume just a touch because it sounds a little loud in my headphones. I don't know how it is for all of you. Actually, I always say that, but then I always feel like it's never a problem for anyone else. Cool. Okay. Radiant Sloth, is there anything you've been playing recently that you've been enjoying that's been, I don't know, influencing your journey in game design? Wrong way. Okay. Is there a... Yeah, look sensitivity. Let's bring that to like 40. Better. Okay. Everyone's like, hey, what are you playing today? I'm like, well, first and foremost, I'm playing Radiant Sloth's new game. Or new pre-alpha. And then, secondly, I don't know, probably just another Dark Souls ripoff. Hello. And open. We opened it. Don't have a lot of time to play yourself lately, but you're updated on the new pack in Super Auto Pets. I actually have been as well. I think that Super Auto Pets is just always doing really cool stuff. And like the whole new trumpet mechanic is really interesting. Shards of Light. Use this currency. Buy items and level up. Okay. Dark Souls be like, copy my homework, but don't make it too obvious. Shards of Light instead of Dark Souls. Yeah, Super Auto Pets is cool. Yeah, I was gonna say, Radiant Sloth said I'm starting to get a bit lost because food and pets keep changing so quickly on the test server. Yeah, I haven't spent a ton of time with the test server, but I am looking forward to seeing... Wait, what's going on? I am looking forward to seeing how it eventually, like, ends up. What was it? Oh, oops. Okay, whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Alright, take me to the inventory. Cool. Let's put this on 2. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay. Wait, how do I get out of here? Okay. Oops. Hey! This is kind of cool. Whoa. I don't want to wear that. Yeah. Whoa, look at me go. I'm like Wolverine, I think. That's the guy with the claws. So Radiant Sloth, how are you spending your time when you're working on games? Are you mostly working on Destroy the Monolith, or are you spending a lot of time, you know, on stuff for Skycliffs? Do you spread it out like pretty like 50-50? Because I've always been bad at knowing how to like split up my time when I'm working on multiple projects. And I'm curious how you do it. Hey. Ew. Hello? Oh dear. Drink your potion. I like that guy's yells. Oh, cool. Light blade. Not very good at multitasking, so mostly focused on Destroy the Monoliths at the moment. Yeah, I think you and me both. I mean, you and me both. I'm also not very good at, you know, the whole, hey, I like that. The whole multitasking thing. But when I do pull it off, I always feel like really proud of myself. You know, keeping multiple ideas in my head and... Okay. And feeling as though I'm able to express them in a way that makes sense. Lunge attack, I'm not sure Oh, W. Do I have to like tap them both at the same time? I see. Also, I don't want to, you know, like ask too many questions if you're not ready to answer them, but do you have like a timeline for Destroy the Monoliths? Do you know when you might sort of be like, you know, announcing some kind of like demo or early access? I don't really know what, you would know better than I would on like how the progression typically goes, but I'm curious. Skeleton. Yeah. Is this... Okay. I will level up. Oh, rest here. Okay. Resting will replenish health. Level me up. I cannot. I need 100 shards of light. I see. I guess I suck. Whoa. Maybe I should take like some computer classes. I would love to learn how to make games. I think it'd be fun. Got some plans, but I'm not really sure yet how it'll go. Also depends on how much depth I decide to add with the roll progression. Yeah, totally fair. I think, yeah. I hope that the question didn't come across as like, you know, oh, like I hope you like rush it or anything. I'm just looking forward to seeing what you do, because I really enjoyed that that part of the game that we were able to play. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, bye. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you end up doing with the progression of it. Because, you know, there are like so many different ways you can go. There's so many like elements and aspects to the game that are like fleshed out and interesting, even in a pre-alpha. So, world's your oyster, my friend. Goofy. Arrow bundle. Okay. What are these? I hope it's not a puzzle. My brain hasn't really been working so well recently. Oh no, it is a puzzle. One. It's probably that one, right? And, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, you're already on the right one, it seems. And then 2. Yeah. I don't know. I don't need it. The goal is to release a demo for Steam Next Fest. But there are 3 of them each year, so it's okay to delay a bit if needed. I didn't know there were 3 of them a year. Actually, the stream where I played the Next Fest demos, you know, I try not to like play favorites when it comes to like, you know, what I've played and how it's sort of like I don't even know how to describe it, like affected the channel and like affected my decision on what to play. But that Next Fest demos Monderground that we did when we played Skycliffs, I think it was the Next Fest demos. But yeah, that one stands out as like one of the more fun streams that I've done. Cool. Oh, DreamHack Beyond, that's right. Yeah, those 2, because I think they were 1 week after the other or something like that. Go away. Yeah, that progression of weeks was a lot of fun. I gotta stop doing that. Progression of weeks, what am I talking about? That's not how people talk. Those 2 weeks were some fun. Some fun weeks. So what is DreamHack Beyond? Is that, it's just, my understanding was that it's sort of similar to a, it's similar to like a Next Fest. Because there were some demos and some games being released, and I don't know. anytime creators are given a platform to share like the art that they're making, that's cool by me. Have you guys listened to this new Richard Dawson album yet? It is insanely good. The Ruby Chord, I recommend it strongly. I'm not even sure myself what DHB is. I think they organize competitions. Okay, interesting. But they have a Steam showcase once a year. That's cool. And I'm just curious. What is like what does it look like when you're signing up for like one of these things? Like, I wonder how you like get in touch, get involved. But yeah, the Richard Dawson album, Are You an Enemy? Is insanely good. But I mean, I don't know if it's not necessarily for everyone. It's like a very specific kind of folk. Like, you know, the whole album is like an hour and a half long, which isn't uncommon for albums. But the first song is like 40 minutes long. And it's really good. It's really good, but it's sort of like, it is a bit of a commitment, you know, when one song is 40 minutes, 40 hours, could you imagine? Just filled in the form with some basic info about the game. That's how you got into it. Cool. I like the freedom that they are giving people to share their art and work. Idiot. Yeah, we'll play this for a bit, and I was thinking about maybe, no promises. Oh, hey Spoon, welcome. Maybe doing Slay the Spire, or... Because I know I haven't played it on the channel, but I know that people like that game and might like to see me play it on the channel, but... Because this is a good game, I'm not that good at it and I'm not that bad at it. You know how they choose what to include during the Game Fest? They decide to include a lot of games this year. Well, I'm glad they decided to include yours, because that's how we got to know each other. And Kier's playing Slay the Spire at the moment, so yeah. Maybe I should play Slay the Spire. Noise. Ah! Boom. Boom. You're out of here. Hey! It's not very nice. Jump in. Okay. Or that. But yeah, haven't been able to get that Richard Dawson record out of my head. Ooh. Interesting. Fun. How was everyone's weekend, by the way? It is Monderground after all. Oi, don't miss. My weekend Same as usual. Didn't get into much. Just trying to, you know, find my footing, I guess. Find my iPhone. A warm pod. Okay. This game isn't that difficult. Or maybe I should have done it on nightmare mode. The game has a nice art style. The outlines remind you of Borderlands. I would agree with that, actually. I like things that are, I don't know if cel-shaded is the right term, but I know what you mean. And actually, I think that I could be wrong, but oh jeez, aren't the guys who made Borderlands partnering with Heart Studio on the new Hyper Light Drifter game? Hyper Light Breaker? Because I think what little they showed of the character models in the one trailer they did looked quite a lot like Borderlands. Whoa, I'm done! Defeat. Do I lose all my souls? Your shards are now liminal. You might have a chance to get them back later. Okay. All of them? Yeah, that's true. Well, let's run back. Did you play Solar Ash? I didn't, but I wanted to. I just didn't have a computer at the time when it was coming out. I played Hyper Light on Switch. But honestly, Hyper Light Drifter, I think, is one of my favorite games I've ever played. So I could imagine I would really like Solar Ash. Say Solar Ash is gorgeous. Yeah, it looked it. I watched like all the like gameplay trailers and stuff as they were like leading up to like releasing it, but yeah, it's a bummer. But I never got to play it. I heard it like people loved it. People were like, "This is, you know, this is one of the games ever made." The movement feels good, so fluid. Also, am I like totally misremembering? But doesn't it kind of, in a way, like tie into the? Someone was saying it kind of ties into the lore of Hyper Light Drifter. But yeah, no, I really am. I think, you know, assuming, which only if something really goes wrong with this. But assuming I'm still streaming, like, I would love to play the new Hyper Light game when it comes out. Wait. I'm gonna go get your chest. No. Ah! You just did 258 damage with a heavy blade? Hell yeah. That's what heavy blade's for. Oi, let me out. Let me out! I'm going for the chest. A skull basher? Sounds like my kind of weapon. What? It only was 20. Wait. Let me out. Well, this is going horribly. Horribly wrong. Horribly awesome. I can't hear anything. I feel like my hearing's gone as well. Whee! This is Dark Souls. I mean, Curse of Eternity. But I think, you know, obviously the joke is like, haha, Dark Souls. Every game is Dark Souls in one way or another, but like, you know, this game has some cool, fun, original ideas. And I especially, like Radiant Sloth said, I like the art style a lot. Oh no. Alright, we'll give this one more go. See where we can get, and then maybe we'll pivot to Slay the Spire. Radiant Sloth, have you played Slay the Spire before? That's a fun little roguelike. It's not action, but I'm so particular about the card building roguelike. Well, actually, maybe I'm not, because I liked the two really big ones, which are Slay the Spire and Monster Train. At least I think those are the big ones, unless I'm forgetting something. But Monster Train's also fun. But Monster Train is like... it gets crazier a lot quicker. Spoons only played a little Slay the Spire, but they enjoy it a lot. Yeah, I'm glad. As if I'm like involved or invested in like Slay the Spire in any way, but like I'm glad. It's a cool game, and like I think even though it has a ton of recognition, like it deserves, you know, a lot of recognition. Not really into deck building games. Honestly, yeah, that's fair enough. I wasn't into deck building games either for like a long while. I wasn't into deck building games for a long while, and then I played Slay the Spire, and it kind of like really turned around my my perspective on the games. Because I don't know, not to be rude, but I was like, like it's kind of a snoozer. Like I would much rather like be involved. You know, in like a literal way where I'm like controlling the dodges and the attacks. But Slay the Spire is good at like luring people in, even when they don't like the genre so much, at least in my opinion. I was gonna say something else, but oh yeah, I think the one thing that still kind of gets me about deck builders is that you can put yourself into literally unwinnable situations. Like, you know, like for example in Skycliffs, like it would be really tough, but you could win a run where you never upgrade anything or like buy anything, and like, you know, it would probably be really tough, but it's possible by using your own skill. In Slay the Spire, that's not possible. You must build in certain directions to like be good. That's why you like Stellaris a lot, but you were never attracted to Civilization. Yeah, fair. I've never played either of those games, but wait. Let me out. Alright, little hits, little hits. Ooh. Don't get greedy. Ah! So greedy. Whew. Ah. Oh no, now it's like when my ears are underwater. Ah! Alright. Who is, this isn't from chat, this is from my brain, who is your favorite contemporary living actor? Or like, I use actor in the gender neutral sense. You played some Pokemon when you were younger, so some turn-based games still attract you. Yeah, actually, I've been playing the newer Pokemon, and like, it's a complaint that I brought it up a lot more before. Before the new Pokemon game came out, but people were like, "Oh, it's just literally the same thing again." And I was like, yeah, like, isn't that the point of Pokemon? Like, not to be like, oh, like, you know, they should get lazy as developers, but like, I liked Pokemon Legends Arceus. I thought it was like really fun, but it also wasn't like a mainline Pokemon game, and that was kind of obvious. I don't know. I go to Pokemon for like something really simple, like, I don't know. It's a kid's game, like, and it's like a fun kid's game. That's not to say that it can't have complexity, because, I think a lot of corporations often, like, underestimate, how much kids understand and what they're, like, willing to do. But, yeah. Pokemon is just, like, simple, turn-based, 4 moves, and, like, how cute does your Pokemon look? Yeah, you're right, actually. If they do Pokemon games too differently, then people complain because they want nostalgia. But then if they do them too similarly, people complain because they're like, oh, like, you're not doing anything new. I will say that, like, how buggy the new Pokemon game is, like, pretty hard to excuse. But, like, oh, there's really no iframes on that dodge roll, is there? It is pretty hard to excuse when it's, like, one of the biggest gaming companies in the world, and, like, the biggest gaming franchise in the world. But, I don't know, the complaints of, like, oh, it's just Pokemon again. Yeah. I don't know what you expected, but yeah. Ayo. Did you play Koromon? No, but I think I heard of it. I started following some gaming subreddits when I started this channel. Just to, like, like, keep up with, like, game deals or, like, what people are playing and enjoying, so I could, hopefully stay on some kind of trend. And I think someone mentioned Koromon in one of those. What's the deal? It's like a Pokemon type game, right? Pokemon Clone, released recently, has really beautiful pixel art. Maybe I'll have to give that a try sometime, because I do love a Pokemon game. And, yeah, maybe after we finish the Pokemon Violet Nuzlocke, we'll take some time away from Pokemon and Pokemon clones, like what we did with Dark Souls. But then then maybe we'll give it a try. Okay. This has been Curse of Eternity. Kind of fun, simple, like, you know, Souls-like action RPG. Let's play Slay the Spire. You know, we all been having fun. It's a nice day. We got 45 minutes left in stream, and I kept saying, "Oh, I'll never play Slay the Spire." Well, looky here, I'm playing Slay the Spire on stream. I don't think that I'll have anything unlocked because I bought Slay the Spire on my computer because I wanted to play some mods that I had seen for Slay the Spire. So I didn't actually play any of the base game. I was just playing the mods with like the new characters. So I don't think I'll have anything unlocked. So I think it'll be an Iron Chad run. And I don't think I'll have unlocked any of the cards. But Koromon has some nice customization options to tweak the difficulty. I like that. Okay, I have the Iron Chad and the Silent. I will 5 unlocks remaining. 5 unlocks remaining. I'll do the Silent. I like the Silent. Greetings. Let's see. Yeah, okay. We take enemies, and then we go this way. What do we want? What are we building? I don't like any of these. And also, you know, let me know if I'm not explaining my thought processes well enough, because when I get into Slay the Spire, I'm usually just like, just go. But my thought process with taking that starting relic of enemies in your first 3 combats have 1 HP is that I could most likely get to this elite here and get a free relic out of it. The way that I play Slay the Spire is maybe cursed. I'm willing to take like a lot of damage if it makes me stronger. Let's go for a Shiv run. I'll take Blade Dance. Get a guaranteed elite into another elite. That sounds good to me. Smith up your Blade Dance. Make it a little stronger. Fight the elite. Spoon says, God, I love Shiv runs. So satisfying. I'd agree. So this guy doesn't wake up until you do enough damage on him. So I will be waking him up this turn, I do believe. And yeah, this guy is basically a race. He starts debuffing you while doing really strong attacks. So you basically gotta race him down before... probably should have done that, but hey ho. Race him down before he starts debuffing you too hard. Take 5 damage. Piercing Wail. Shiv. And we're just gonna attack. And would have been nice to have a neutralize earlier, but hey ho. Oh my gosh, if I lose like right now, that would be really, really embarrassing. But no, I think I'll be able to take him out in the next 2 turns. Okay, yeah, I'll get him next turn. But took a lot of damage, but hey. Got a big bonus, I think, hopefully. What's the big bonus? Or a Calcum. That's not bad, actually. And a regen potion. We'll take a slice, because we like that free damage, and then we'll move on. Juzu Bracelet is nice. We won't find enemies in question mark rooms anymore. And of course we're going to go for the elite. We'll immediately pop this regen potion, and we'll drink our dex potion. And then... There's an interesting play here in this, and then you just attack as hard as you can, I think. Actually, you probably block because I think you can get caught in this. Oh, it's only 3 damage. It's only 3 damage. All of a sudden, this 17 has turned into like a 4. I think, yeah, cool. These guys, I think, in my opinion, are the easiest of the first floor elites. You can kind of pick them off one by one. The Gremlin Knob, is that his name? Gremlin Knob is a sucker. I hate that guy. He gets stronger every time you play a skill, so every time you block, like, you're gonna get hit harder the next turn. Nasty stuff. But look at this, we've regen basically all of our health, and I don't think we've lost any this fight, so... Radiant Sloth, you're heading out. It was really nice having you here. Thank you so much for hitting me up about Destroy the Monoliths, and I wish you the best in working on it. Keep me posted on development if there are big updates. Like, I would love to play again on stream. And yeah, it was really nice chatting with you. Enjoy the rest of your evening, night, morning, wherever you may be. But yeah, take care, and speak to you soon. We'll get rid of this defend, because we don't need it. And then we'll drink more coffee, because we do need that. Yeah, thank you. Kier, who are you playing as in your Slay the Spire adventure? Are you playing... You said you had a heavy blow, so are you playing the Iron Chad? Alright, and that should be it. Hey, I got an achievement for some reason. Alright, Sundial. It's not that useful, but maybe I could try and thin out my deck. I think Crippling Cloud is just like a fine card to have. Alright, well, just hit hard. And we have a fire potion backing us up now, so I think we're in a pretty good spot. We don't even have to block this turn, because we'll auto-block the first 6 damage. So, just hit him hard. Maybe I am good at this game. Well, it's only Ascension 1, so... Oh wait, I need to change the category. Slay the Spire. Now we have 2 firebombs backing us up. And we'll take a deflect. We'll auto-block all of that, so... It's fine, just hit him hard. What a nice run we have, huh? Nice little auto blocks and this and that, and this time we manually block and we block for all of it. Easy peasy. Simple living. And boom. I feel like I'm crushing it. Am I wrong? When was the last time I took damage? Don't like those. Oh, and I love this boss. I think it's the best one to get on the first floor. Alright, maybe we can split you. Well, do we want to split you, is the other question. If we do this, actually, and we don't block, then we get the natural block. Whoa. Now you're thinking with portals. What will you split at? 33, 34? I think you can just do this turn. And now you go hard. Actually, no, you don't, because you're weakened. You're gonna get more weak if you don't do it now. That's fine. It's a worse turn than before, but oh well. Just make things easy for later. Hmm. Took 1 damage. It's embarrassing though, against these little slimes. What do we want? Oof. Malaise is good. Sure. And then let's just throw an upgrade on it. And then we're in there. So I don't know if you knew this, Kier or Spoon or anyone else who may be in chat. This boss, the first big attack that they do, is actually based on how much maximum health you have. So I think it should be doing 12 damage instead of what it would do, which is probably more like 24 damage. If I didn't have. It's doing 18 damage. That's not too bad. Boom. And then let's just hit it with the most killer melees. Embarrassing, only 1 damage. Oh, you gonna cry? And see, now we don't even need to worry. We can just start stacking the damage and the weakness on. It's doing 0 times 2. We're getting 6 block for free. And this is how you slay the Spire. Oh yeah. No, I'm feeling way overconfident, which probably will end poorly, but hey ho. Oh, you're doing 4 damage? That's so sweet. So cute. I'm realizing though that we have a bit too much defense in our deck. And not really a great amount of attack, but hey ho, the strikes will take us through. We have a fire potion if we need. And I mean, the boss is literally doing 3 damage and probably what, like, no damage on its big turn. So we're sitting pretty. Honestly, we need to look out for the burns more than we actually have to look out for the boss. Yeah, because actually our hand might become full of burns eventually. But we're whittling it down. Whoa, 10 damage? That's so much, I'm so proud of you. I think since this is a big attack turn, I think we just do as much as we can. We'll take 4 damage, it's fine. It doesn't matter if we block or not. Actually, we're in a rough spot now. I told you, it all adds up. It's gonna come down to the wire, probably, actually. 3, we have 5 left. Yeah, I think we lost. I'm so confident just a second ago. We need to do 46 more damage. You were so overconfident. Oh no. What's happening? You're witnessing someone embarrass themselves live on stream. Yeah, I'm dead. I just didn't have the damage to follow through. Anyway, I was doing so well. Hey, I got that guy. Let's run it back. Hopefully less embarrassing. Spoon or Kier, do either of you guys have a preference on who I play? You could do the Iron Chad, run it back with the Silent, or be the Robot. Any preferences? I'm down to clown with any of them. Spoon likes the Silent, Kier likes the Iron Chad. We did the Silent once, so let's give the Iron Chad a whirl. And then we can go back to the Silent. Let's see. Okay. There is one way. What do I like here? I'll take an early cleave, because honestly, AoE it can be important. You know what? I think Rampage could be a lot of fun. I don't often build around Rampage, but yeah, let's try it. And then we want to remove. Yes. Basically want to remove, like, all of our strikes. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll dodge. Grab the Gremlin Horn. And keep it rolling. No. So we want to keep our deck really, really small. And Rampage is going to be our guy. What's wrong with Strike? Nothing's wrong with Strike, it's just that it doesn't really have any, like, extra effects, if that makes sense. Like, and if we want to do a good Rampage run, having a really small deck will help, because that means it's whipping around the deck a lot faster. And if it's coming around the deck faster, then we're going to do more and more damage with it. Because it's 8, and then every time you play it, it's an additional 8. I can't buy anything. Yeah. And we want to keep the defense, not because defense is usually better than strike, but just because if, in the interest of not really adding that much, we want to keep the deck thin. And then as we get rid of our defense, we can add new defense. Yeah, see, now it's doing 16, then it'll do 32. No, wait, what? 24. Oh, what a terrible turn. I was banking on getting just at least one strike to take out that guy because I didn't want to waste all that damage on him. The cleave will take both of these guys out. And we'll heal up 6, so it's fine. And there we go. Lizard Tail is nice to have. No. No. We probably smith our bash next for the extra vulnerability. Slay the Spunk. Hello, Bingus. Welcome back. Cool. Some easy fights. Honestly, a flex would kind of go hard, I think. Sure, why not? We will smith up our flex, I think. And then if we can get like a limit break. I don't even know if we have limit break unlocked. I think that might be a card that you have to unlock. Okay. And C is going to do so much damage. Yeah, C is doing, what, like more than double what was happening last time. Was that 35? Oh well. We'll take the hit. But I think this battle will go fine because we actually have the offensive capabilities to take out an enemy like this, as opposed to the last run where we, I don't know, I think I was playing it a little safe. Yeah, like, look at this. Hasn't even gone all the way around once, and we're already at 69 funny number. And these will only do one, even if they hit me, because that's the way Tori works. Can I take you out this turn? 48? I can. Here, I actually like this boss more than the other two. This is going to be a very controversial opinion, but I think that Berserk is not just playable, but good. And don't take my word for that, because a lot of people have very different play styles. I'm gonna go crazy. No, I'm not, because with this basically negates Berserk, and that was a useless pickup. Honestly, Velvet Choker maybe, because we're not playing that many cards. We're not like a big card playing Marty. Sure, I never take Velvet Choker. It actually might be my least favorite boss relic, but you know, when in doubt, take the energy relic. I hate this guy. Nope. 1 damage. Nice. Oh, I should have flexed. What am I doing? Not paying enough attention. It wouldn't have killed him, but... You had a good Berserk build, retained the energy I didn't use, and after a couple turns used a Whirlwind with like 13 energy. That's awesome. I love that. I feel like that's like what you're supposed to do with like Ice Cream Berserk. Like, just go absolutely nutty. Come on, man. We'll take a Flame Barrier, and then we can start to get rid of our defense. Take the Special Relic, because I like that more than the other options. And... yeah, I mean, who needs block cards when you just have a power card that blocks for you? This is literally, I'm explaining my mentality when I think, like, when I play Slay the Spire. Like, I literally have thoughts that are like, who needs block cards? I hate this guy so much, I'm not even gonna bother. Who needs block cards when you could just play one card that gives you block all the time? So Berserk is a must upgrade, because otherwise it's pretty unplayable. But now I think, yeah, like a turn 1 Berserk would be nice. Well, I guess not. $14. Okay, so if we do this and that, then we can block and attack. Yes. Perfect. Perfect. Awesome. Amazing. Show-stopping. Now we've got this guy on the ropes. Yeah, that looks right. Okay, and I think a cleave should take out these 2 enemies. And then we rampage, easy peasy. Alrighty, we got him. No. I think Flame Barrier next, because that's just a great block, especially when you have 5 energy. Like, it's a really playable block as well. Toy Ornithopter is nice. We have enough money. Let's check out the shop. These are fun cards, but I just don't think it's what we're doing. Whenever you shuffle your draw pile, you can 6 block. Yes, that sounds good, because we're going for like quite a small deck. It's a perfect turn for that. And then away we go. Well, we need this. We like this. We also like this. And then we should probably just do that. And then let's do that because we're only going to take one as a result. This is big. We'll block it all with metallicize, so. Alright, this is a worse turn, but still manageable, because, I mean, this is where, like, you know, cards like metallicize really shine, is when the enemy is constantly debuffing your defense. You know, that itself doesn't get debuffed. Cool. Nope. Yeah, I'll take the max HP. Thank you. Metallicize and Barricade go hard. I agree. Yeah, if you're fighting the right enemies, they really do go hard. I wish I'd saved my my escape potion for this guy. I really, really don't like this fight. But at least we have some in-deck scaling, so it's not going to be the end of the world, I don't think. But, like, you know, we can't play Berserk. A lot of our cards are hard to play to get around this guy because he rarely, like, has openings. Thankfully, it wasn't too bad. Yeah, Shockwave is nice. Especially against these guys. Well, good call. Okay, I think this is a tough fight, so we're gonna drink and drink, play, play, play. Cool. Focus the back guy first because he can... Well, I focus the back guy first because he can, what's it called? Entrap you? I can't remember, but it's the one where it makes it so you can't attack. Then I go for the middle guy, usually. Because I don't like that he adds wounds to your deck. Unless that's on higher ascensions, but I can't remember. We probably could Berserk and expect to be fine, but there's no reason to anymore. The fight's almost done. Okie doke. And we have a lot of healing relics, actually. So we don't even need to rest, I don't think. We'll just upgrade our metallicize. Nice start. Cool. It's actually a good turn for this. Not too bad at all. 1 damage and 13 damage. 14 total. We'll survive. Shit, I did not think that through. Alright, well. We'll take a little damage, but it's nothing too bad. Cleave would be nice. Alright, Flame Barrier actually works as well. Oh yeah, actually, if I'd thought about that, I could have procced this one more time. Oof. Is Cleave gonna leave? Is Cleave gonna leave? No, Cleave stays. I like how he did all his debuffs and then didn't even attack me on the next turn. Like, just wait for the debuffs to go away, I guess. Da, 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 da. I think you take out this guy. And then I want to go crazy, but that's the better move for now, I think. Alright, we could probably flame potion this guy if we needed to get rid of him, but I don't think we do. I don't remember you summoning this much. 44 damage, jeez Louise, 66. Well, actually, I think it's better to do that. And then we go to that, and then we do that, then we do that. And that's the first time we've ever hit Velvet Choker, so I think that I would say that was a good pick. You. For you. For you. We chill. You really summoning more minions? I don't remember you summoning so many. But see how good Rampage has become? I think we get him next turn. 9 and 9. Yep. Hey, hey! Look at this, we might be going all the way. Dare I? There's not really a reason to be honest, though. I actually think a bludgeon might go harder. No. I think we can get around this. These are both kind of... I don't really like Snecko Eye personally. It turns the game into like a little bit of, in my opinion, a little reliant on RNG. But let's take Mark of Pain, why not? It's only A1, I'm sure we'll be fine. It lets us play Bludgeon much easier. Alright, how many elites can we hit? 1, alright, 1, 2, 3. That's pretty good. It's fine. It's not that much damage. Okay. And Dazed. Yeah. See, that's why I don't really like you don't discard your hand at the end of turn, because you can get really like clogged up with curses and dazes and ickies and yuckies, and instead let's just I don't know, take a shrug it off and try and dump some defense. What do you do, 15? Cool. Nice. And kill him. Duplication potion is very nice. We don't want any of those though. Wonder if I can finish this run in 8 minutes. I hate this fight. It's not hard, it's just annoying. I think this is how we best spend our energy. It'll get to the point where a Rampage can one-shot kill these guys, but we just have to worry about, you know, not kind of like desyncing them. Which I think is a weird thing to say, but like you can get them asynchronous so like they're all dying at different times and it's just like an absolute nightmare. I think, yeah, in the interest of self-preservation, that's the right play. And then you get this guy next time before these guys can get up. Not another flex, please. Ooh. Dare I? What would I get from upgrading all my cards? Nothing, I don't think. I think we fight the boss from Act 1. I don't think it'll be too bad. Famous last words, I guess. I mean, 5 isn't going to save us from much. Okay, well, we got our wounds out of the way, so time for us to go absolutely nutty crazy on this little crazy little nutty guy. I don't know, I feel like where we're at, the game kind of plays itself to some degree. Tungsten Rod. Okay, this is a sick combination. Because now whenever it does 5 or less damage, we just don't take damage. Glowing Tesseract, what do you got? Nah, I don't like any of these. Madness might have been alright. Okay. This guy's funny. Because now I basically cannot attack him. I can weaken him though. Make him vulnerable, and then block. This one is the, I think, middlemost difficulty elite on this floor. Easiest, I think, is the head, for me at least. Hardest would be the Swordmancer, or whatever it's called. Our deck is full of garbage, but we're not taking any damage. Like, we're not being punished for it. Now we are. That's a big punish, too. Please, we're so out of sync. Give me a good attack. Give me an attack that works. That's good enough. We got there. Inflame. It's good, but it's a different run. It's not this one. Huh. That made the fight a lot easier, yeah. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Well, I think we're trapped. We can't do anything against this. We can do that though. This is how we do damage, is just exclusively through Flame Barrier. I have always wanted to do that, like like a flame barrier or a caltrops run. I think it would be fun, but I've never been able to make it work. Yeah, actually. But now we really got to start getting rid of defense. Here. I think we dodged that last elite. Not because I don't think we can take him, but because as a result we'll be able to remove more stuff. 87 damage, not too shabby. Yeah, this guy you want to play all your cards before you play your good cards. All your, like, defends before you play your attacks. Because that makes him take more damage. Crazy, right? Who thought of this? Whose idea was this? Couldn't be me. Oh no, the head. I don't think the head is too bad. I think especially when you have like bludgeons and stuff in the deck, like you can take this guy down pretty quick. I'm really like not proving my point well though. Yeah, I think I actually changed my mind. I think we might be dead. Kind of depends on the draw we get over the next few turns. 34, we would need to block a decent amount. I think you do this, drink it, discard this, this, and that. You flame barrier, defend. Bash rampage. And if you can pull bludgeon next turn, then you live. If you can't, you probably die. Well, we pulled it. Block, attack, bludgeon. Cool. Barricade is nice, but not for this deck. Yeah, skip that. Yeah, that's one of those fights where I feel like you either win by like a wide margin or you lose like pretty heavily. Alright, we want to get rid of defend. And that's all fine. And by that I mean, like, you know, I still have 32 health, which like isn't really all that bad. But we were one hit away from death, so, you know, I love this guy. Best enemy. He's so fun to fight. I'm not even being like sarcastic. Because it's always like, oh, like, you know, can I get him far enough down that I could actually like kill him before the time's up? But I mean, if you're not doing enough consistent damage, like this turn is going to be a nightmare. Like you're just going to get walloped. Actually, it's not too bad. 9 damage. No berserk though. Oh, I wanted to play Flame Barrier. I will play Flame Barrier. It is an interesting fight. Nice. One more turn. Flex. Flame Barrier. I'm not in love with that turn, but I think we're fine. Nope. Alright, let's see. We have 46. We get 25 when we go into the boss. That leaves us with like 70-ish. I don't think we need to upgrade anything, so let's just rest. Might as well. Okay. These two funny fellas. You attack the back one first because the back one's more annoying. You also notice that you used all your potions on the way here, and that you might be in for a rude awakening. You also notice that most of your deck consists of wounds for some reason, and then you realize that that's all your own fault. Kier says, I decided to continue with Plague Tale. I forgot where I left off, and my character is kneeled down crying for about a minute. Oh dear. I could tell from like the screen caps that it was like that kind of game. It looked to be like two siblings. And any video game about siblings, like, you're gonna get, like, murdered in the emotions. It's just too much damage to pass up. Goodbye, ghostly armor. We cannot afford, I don't believe, to berserk this turn. We'll take 11 damage, I think? 9 damage. 2 siblings, 1 is diseased. Yeah, how did I know? If we can get rid of this guy, then this guy should be a cakewalk. Well, I say cakewalk, but what I mean is easier. But no, we're fine. We have enough health. We can tank this hit, even though it's undesirable. How much do we have? And then we're getting another 8? No, I don't think we can berserk. Also, we don't really need to. We have 5 energy anyway. The only turns where we want to berserk are these ones. Oh, that's so close. Please. Berserk, yes. Blood gem. Considering that I'm really rusty, and that I also haven't unlocked a lot of the cards, I'd say that this is a fine performance. I know that we are literally a hit away from death, but yeah, we're dead. I don't think there's anything we can do here. Oh, unless. No, it's definitely not enough. Oh well, I'm still proud. Oh, I forgot I had lizard tail! Easiest win of my life. Was not even scared for like a second. 799. Bummer. Okay, cool. Limit Break, my beloved. Card is so fun. Well, hey, the Watcher. Okay, well. Slay the Spire. You asked for it, you got it. Maybe we'll come back another time and I'll do the other characters and then we'll, I don't know. I'm not climbing up to 820 on stream. I think that would be a nightmare. But this is a fun stream. Thank you all for coming. I'm glad we got to play Destroy the Monoliths. It was nice to see Kier, nice to see Radiant Sloth, nice to see Spoon and Bingus. I appreciate you guys all showing up today. As always, it's so dramatic with this music in the background, right? So much majesty. Kira says, I gotta send you a clip. Give me a second. Okay. I will give you a second. I wonder what the clip is of. If it's a sketchy link, I'm not opening it. I'm gonna be upfront. But if it's a normal link, I will open it. If it's YouTube, cool. If it's like, you know, underground detention.com. Wait, I hope that's not a real thing. I hope I'm just... now I'm gonna have to look that up. No, I'm not gonna have to look that up. But then it's the thing of like, well, what if I did just say something really, really sussy, but I don't know it? Oh well. We'll figure it out. Yeah. You still there, Kier? Who knows? I'll give you a second, but I should be getting off soon. I don't want to take up everyone's time too much more. Oh, thank goodness. When I look up underground detention, what shows up is Stormwater Detention Vault. A stormwater detention vault is an underground structure designed to manage excess stormwater. So it's not sussy. Spoon wants to play Slay the Spire now. It's a good game. It's a great game. Oh, it's a game clip? Go ahead, send away. Alright, sent it. Let me peep. Alright, this is my live reaction to this video. I don't know what I should do. Alright, probably like this. It's two people running, and is it a bunch of rats or bugs or... Oh no, they're not slowing down. I think from the squeaking, they're rats. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of rats. This is cool. Yeah, they are rats, right? Everything's going to collapse. That's cool. It was like a waterfall of rats. I thought that Plague Tale took itself a little more seriously, but I guess I was wrong, because that was like, in my favorite kind of way, like pretty goofy. Like it's like a literal waterfall of rats falling down the middle of this building as it collapsed around them. It was great. So maybe I will have to check it out. But yeah. Also, real ear reveals. I actually do have ears, contrary to popular belief. Yeah. As always, I've been, and yes. Thank you guys all for showing up today. I appreciate it. And I love you all. Bye-bye.